everyone, and welcome back to our second episode of In the Village Live with me, Jim Savalli. And I can't believe a week has gone by since my last show because it kind of crept up on me with everything that's been going on. It's been an exciting week. Just to recap last week's show, we had some great guests. We had Keith Hart from the Hart Agency and from the Long Island Hospitality Ball. We also had the guys from Fresh Products, Howard Hoffman, Dr. Ross, and their superstar Jen Feldman, who was our cover artist last week. That came out on a new issue. And here's our actual issue that you can see her on. We also had musical guest Dan Batista and my bro, Mark Zecker from Hanu. And we had a great party there on Monday, our second annual swimsuit issue party. It was a big success. We had thousands of people there, would you say? Thousands, at least. It was a very big hit. So tonight we have an exciting show. We have Kerriann Flanagan Brosky here, 6-time award-winning author. And she's best known for her Ghost of Long Island books. We also have Tommy Marr, who is a Madhouse host and has his own show here called the Maverick Soul Hour. And Tom Millet.
You know what? You're a jerk. No, I have to say, but what I do have to say, Tommy is also an owner. All right,
yes,
you left that very important
get back to that,
out.
but it's okay. You guys can steal the show.
If you're going to introduce us, you better introduce us right.
Okay.
All right, because we'll make fun of you all day long.
But then we have the Mr. Tom Millet, who's
again,
radio show.
He's got to do that just to irritate
I do the same thing.
Tom and LJ in the morning from 8 to 8:30. And also soon to be Thursday nights, right? 8 o'clock, Life in the Fast Lane. I think that's perfect, bro. Life in the Fast Lane.
I'm going to have you as my first guest.
I think you should. That'd be great.
Good, because I want to be sitting in that desk and I want you here on the couch.
That's awesome. So last week we were promoting our swimsuit issue, and I was a little bit nervous going into it. That's why I was nervous on the show. It had nothing to do with the show. But we had a tremendous success. Mark Zecker was here from Hanu, and we have a few pictures that we'd like to show before we go to break, just to show people what they missed because they won't want to miss it next time. So if we could, we'll go to some pictures from Monday, right? Sounds good?
You got to tell me what the pictures are.
Oh, there we go. There's some pictures
what is
right
that
there.
one?
You're not in that one. I wish you were. Yeah, that was a fun night. I mean, we had a lot of people there. I think that's me right there. I look good.
Too much to drink tonight, Jim.
I did, but thank you very much.
No,
that's Mary Grace right
really
there. She was the organizer of the party, thank God, because I would not have been able to do it. She's on over there, too, but I know she's on the screen right there. She put it all together, all these beautiful women that were there. I think the highlight of my night was when she came looking for me. I thought I was in trouble, but she came to find me to tell me to go upstairs to take a picture with 25 women in bikinis.
That was a difficult thing for you, though, right?
That was very hard, yes. But it was good to be me at that moment. So, yeah, that's me with all those women right there. That was a great shot. I think we have one of the Madhouse group up there, right? Bunch of rock stars? No? Well, we'll have to get those next time. But you guys had fun, right?
I got to be honest with you. When we walked in there, I've never been to the Hanu restaurant, and you've been there a couple of times, right? Or were you ever? You never there either?
So I brought two new customers down there. Is that what you're saying?
I got Mark on the side, and I absolutely complimented him because I heard so much about the restaurant.
Yep.
And when we actually got there, it was more than what I expected.
Yeah.
It was really high end, high class, very well done. Whoever put this together and helped you, because I know you needed the help.
Yes, I did.
Definitely did an absolute outstanding job.
She did.
It was phenomenal.
I like
Very
to take credit for all of the stuff that I do, but I can't hear.
No, but listen, everybody knows, Jim. So you don't have to. I mean, we know that you have this incredible.
Like we know
team.
that everything that happens here, you guys do, right? You guys have no one behind the scenes that helps you out or anything like that, or
No.
No, you guys.
Well,
are
we
awesome,
have the ladies.
bro.
We have
Okay.
the ladies.
So there are some.
We would be dead without the ladies, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, but it was a lot of fun. We had a great time. We met so many people that night that were
saw a lot
down
of
there,
old friends.
celebrities
A lot
that were
of
there.
musical people.
The one guy who really kind of got me was the guy who invented. Do you know the guy who invented the bagel, the everything
Yep,
bagel?
he was there, David Guskin.
This guy is amazing. He reminds me of a great comedian, but I can't. Did you sit with him, Tommy?
No.
He was
You didn't
fun.
sit with him?
No.
Wow.
I was promoting. I was out promoting.
He was promoting, you were sitting.
Yeah.
I was not sitting. I
think
had to
that-
get on the microphone.
I think that I'm going to reach out and ask David to tell us how he came out with that idea.
That was wonderful.
Have him
That's
on the
one of my
show.
favorite bagels.
I don't know if you know David Guskin, but he's a local networker. And
The everything bagel, right?
He invented the everything bagel. Someone invented that.
That had to be an accident.
Did you get
Dropped
money
it
for
on
that?
the floor.
Household orders and everything
That's
bagel?
good.
I mean, I don't know. If I invented it, I would want to have a piece of every bagel. Not, I mean, physically, but I mean, I would want to have
Yeah,
some
that-
sort of a benefit for that.
That's awesome. Sure.
But we're very honored to be in the magazine
glad.
this week. I mean, this month. It was. Thank you so much for that.
And Tommy actually changed the hours of his show last week to attend the party.
Yes, we did.
So we had a really great group of people, and thank God everyone came, because otherwise it would have been not a lot of fun.
Can
being there by
I
myself.
say something to your son who may be watching?
Sure.
Man, you should have been there. Man, you should have been there. You don't know what you missed.
He is, I think he's sorry. He saw some pictures. Mary Grace's son James was there, and I think that he is now a rock star,
Yep.
without a doubt, because I know that his phone has about 100 pictures.
It was good. It was
So it
good.
was fun. So we're
Great.
going to go to a break and hear from some of our sponsors and come back and talk a little about you guys, and then we'll talk about Kerriann. Thank you very much.
Hey, I'm Tom Mealy. I'm with Madhouse TV. This guy just walked up the steps. I don't know what is the story with you?
I'm
Who are you?
comedian Frank
Hey,
Prince.
what the hell do you want here?
I want my own reality TV show.
You think you're funny enough?
Hell yeah.
Well, how much money you got?
Short arms and deep
You
pockets.
think you can make it?
I'm the Myron J. Show.
You think?
I think.
All right.
I know.
We're going to give him a shot this spring here on Madhouse TV. Tune in and wait for.
Frank Prince, the Myron J. Show.
There you go. We'll see you this spring. We got a ton of new shows coming up. My pal Frank Prince, great comedian. Wait to see him. Tune in to Madhouse TV this spring. Have a wonderful day.
Brooklyn's best locksmith and hardware.
We have 3 of the largest showrooms of safes on display and in stock. You can see and touch them in person instead of browsing a catalog. We carry gun and rifle safes, burglary safes, jewelry safes, fire rated from a half hour to 2 hour. Famous name brands.
We sell Gardol.
We sell AMSAC.
The new AMSAC touchscreen.
If you're ever in need of a safe, think Brooklyn's best locksmith and hardware. Right, Lockie?
That's right, Alan.
You know you already want a Toyota, but when you want more from your Toyota store, you want Smithtown Toyota, where every Toyota comes with Smithtown Toyota's Toyota for Life program, giving you lifetime New York State inspections, lifetime 10% discounts on all parts and service, 2 years of complimentary oil changes, 2 years of scheduled maintenance, and more, all at no cost to you, plus low clear-out deals on every Toyota in stock. Get more from your Toyota store. Hurry to Smithtown Toyota.
For professional motorcycle transport and towing, think Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. Proudly serving all of Long Island, we feature expert handling and 24/7 service. So send a limo for your toy with Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing.
So we're back live with Kerriann, Flanagan, Brosky, Tommy Marr, and Tom Mealy. So I chose to have you guys on the show today because I needed a little support and on-the-job training. And since you both have shows here and are both owners of the station, I figured you guys are used to interviewing people. So I figured I'd interview you.
We're here for you, man.
What do you
Thank
want
you,
to know?
Tommy. You always are, bro.
What makes you think we're going to tell you the truth?
I don't think you're gonna, but I figured I'd give it a shot.
Go ahead, go for it.
So, Tommy, you've been doing this for almost a year now.
Yeah.
How did you wind up into this?
This into this.
Into this whole.
I actually was doing a benefit for bullying.
Okay.
And we did it in 6 venues on the island, and they just happened to pick the venue that I was headlining at, and they came, and Tom and one of his associates asked me to do an interview outside. I did the interview. He said he liked the way I was on the camera, and then he called me and said, would I come on his show? I went on his show because I'm the Woodstock guru. So
right, I was going to ask you about that.
He asked me to come on and talk about Woodstock and stuff, so I did that, and then I think a week or 2 weeks later, his co-partner went to do a benefit, so he asked me if I'd co-host a show, and I did that, and then we got my own show, and away we went, and we're doing very well.
So you did some good scouting and found some good talent.
Well, me?
Yeah, someone did.
Well, you know, it was really kind of interesting how he met, because when he first walked in the door, you know, it was such a hush over the crowd.
Right.
And I've never heard of him.
Right.
But then again, I've never heard of Vince Martell either, you know, which drives him crazy. But, you know, thanks to Vicky kind of, you got to remember when the music scene was really popular back in the 70s and the 80s, while you guys were all having great times. I mean, I was defending my country.
I was playing wiffle ball.
You know, but I
70s.
kind of missed all of that. So Tommy brings this very... He brings such talent to what we do here in the realm of Woodstock and in that era of music,
right,
that he's actually become my teacher in a lot of ways. And it's a lot of fun. I mean, he's got, when we first saw him play at this event, it seemed like we were all on the same track, because we're all about charities.
Right.
When Vicki and I initially started this show, you know, it was to give the ability to charitable organizations that can't afford to go on NBC, ABC, or any of the networks because they were charging so much. So it was our idea to allow those charities to now come on, spread the word through a simple talk show. But when Tommy came on, Madhouse exploded with such a vengeance that it went out into music, and now older music for people that are trying to get in. And, you know, it seems like every corner we turn, there's another very talented individual. Yep. And I know I'm going to make you turn red, but even when we met you, I mean, I look at your magazine as, you know, this is not, you know, a magazine that's just a magazine. I mean, the quality, the content, everything that's in there is all high class. And, you know, that's what makes Madhouse who we are today.
Well, I'm going to jump ahead, and just since you mentioned the writers and the articles, Kerriann actually is a writer of ours too, so we're happy to say that. It's a privilege. It's a great addition, because I find all the stories very interesting.
Thank you. Well, it is a privilege to be, because I've been reading it for years.
For years,
now,
you know, you reminded me of that, and I actually forgot that.
Exactly.
But it's been a long time. Yeah, that's crazy.
So it's great.
So,
but Kerriann, you do ghost stories?
I do all kinds of things.
But primarily with ghosts, right?
Well, actually, I have 2 books that are on ghosts. I'm the author of 5 nonfiction books, and my earlier books are on Huntington's history. I'm also a photographer. That's actually what my degree is in. So my earlier books combine preserving local history, the research, and everything. And when you're researching older homes and things, there's always a ghost story or 2 that happens to come into it. And so people begged me for years, why don't you do something just on ghosts? But I sort of put it on a back burner for a while because I wanted to be taken serious as a journalist. I didn't want it to be what you see on TV, the blood and gore type of thing. I always say I'm a historian first, a ghost investigator second. So The Ghosts of Long Island are my 2 most popular books. Those came out in 2006 and 2008. In between that, I did a cookbook with Mr. Sausage of Huntington that's co-authored.
Wow. Great.
I had to get that out of my system. But this well, actually in September is when my debut novel, The Metal, came out. So that was a work of fiction. And it still is in keeping in line, you know, I'm sure we'll get to it, with the supernatural and the paranormal a little bit. And it was always my goal to go from nonfiction to fiction. But the Ghosts of Long Island books have been great. I read a lot of Nancy Drew as a child. It's like being Nancy Drew. I get to go into all sorts of old homes, mansions. But again, it's really heavy on that history and preserving history. So we talk a lot about the Revolutionary War and our Native American past.
Nice.
Very cool. Very cool. I didn't know that the magazine actually had these kind of stories. Because I got to be perfectly honest with you.
You just thought it was all bathing suits and fun and
well, it's hard to get past that. But I mean, once I got past that opening cover, I mean, but I'm going to love to read some of your stories.
Yeah, we have some really good writers, and it's growing every single day. We get, as a matter of fact, I think that Tommy Moore may write for us, because one of the things I love about this guy is that I'm a Woodstock junkie. I love Woodstock. I brought this in from my home today. I was going to look through here to see if I could find your picture, but you already told me that it's not in here, so I'm going to take your word for it.
Well, you got to look under the stage.
Under the stage, looking for the rock.
If you see a guy under the stage, all right, looking up, that's him stealing the rocks.
I actually, I have, I got all the rocks.
So how do you get a title like the Woodstock Guru? Because that's a big title.
Well, I have been going, the owners of Yasgur's Farm are very, he was, Roy Howard
amazing to me
and Gerald Abramson are like brothers and sisters to me. And I've been going there for years, and I was at the original Woodstock. And, then I raised my kids and everything, and the years went by and everything. I didn't go to any reunions or anything. And then I took one of my grandsons up, and it just all, it was, I had a, whatever you want to call it.
Epiphany?
It was, I actually was crying. I mean, when I was standing there at the field, I was like, I just wasn't getting it. I was like, where am I? And I had my grandson, he was a little guy. And all of a sudden, I just turned and it all clicked. And I knew exactly where I was. I knew exactly where I was sitting. I remember when the helicopters were landing, I remember Janis Joplin walking towards me with Grace Slick. And, all these things came back. And I started thinking about how good people were. I mean, in my house, I have this thing I call the wall of influence. It's just people that have influenced me, mostly musicians. Right. But I have a big picture, a big black and white picture. It's an aerial shot of the site, and literally you can see 500,000 people there, and everyone's shoulder is touching the person next to them. I mean, you can't go. God forbid you touch somebody on a drugstore line or something nowadays. Yeah. And I just, the kindness of people, and I mean, there was not an argument. There was not a fight. It was.
I think they shocked everyone with that.
It was, I mean, you'd see a person take a sandwich and take a bite and just hand it down and hand it down, hand it down. And I started just thinking about how good people were then. I mean, it's the world has changed. I mean, and I don't care what anybody says, not for the better. I mean, my childhood was great. I mean, we had no money, but boy, I had a great childhood. Right. I mean, kids you knew all your neighbors, all the neighbors stuck together. It just doesn't exist anymore. So, I was doing the reunion. I started doing reunions at Yasgur's, and, we became very, very, very close with them. And Roy just passed away, unfortunately. Right. And but I will be doing the reunion this year at Yasgur's, and I'm going to take a couple people up there.
I think there's like a whole new re-interest in Woodstock with the younger generation. Like I was telling my son about you.
All these singing shows, The Voice and and when if you really look at it, the ones that really go back a killer, the older, the older stuff, and like a guy like Daltrey come out of there. The rockers that come out are really doing. It's opening, and then that Guitar Hero thing came out.
Oh, yeah, my son was playing songs like Jimi
It's so
Hendrix.
great. You want to hear Deep Purple and stuff, That's what you want to hear, and it's like great, you know. So some guy had mentioned it to me because, I always put posts up every morning of feel-good things, on my Woodstock Guru thing. And this guy had said, you are a Woodstock Guru. You should, that should be your name. And he said, lock it in, and I did.
So did you... Copyrighted, is that the word?
Yeah.
Nice. Perfect. Forever the Woodstock Guru.
If anybody cares to go there, it has no politics, no religion, no arguing, no cursing. It's just all positive, feeling good, make people feel good, share kindness with each other, and that's all. It's really not Woodstock. It's the vibe of Woodstock. How when you drive down the street, just see somebody smile and you might change their day. It's not a big deal. I mean,
Simple
everybody
stuff.
walks around. What are you looking at? What are you?
Right.
You know, how about smiling at the guy and you wouldn't hear that? You know, I don't know. It's my little drib drab of trying to make the world a little better place.
That's cool. I went to Woodstock last year. I love it there, and it's such a peaceful place. You know, like to imagine that many people were there, and it must have been crazy.
Jim,
but it's really a peaceful place.
We go there probably at least 20 times a year, and we spend 10 days. You know, we go there a lot, and I don't care if I'm going there at 3 o'clock in the morning. I have to drive by. It's pitch black, but I have to drive by the site. It's just
that's cool.
And Janine can tell you, there's no way I could drive by without going by the site and just feeling that vibe. And I'm like, whew, I'm good.
Yeah, it is very relaxing. I love it.
It's a vibe up there. I don't know what it is. I mean, you know, we've laid on that hill and actually could hear music. You know, it's just
I think I want to go there. I think I want to go there with you.
Well, I'll take you on the
tour.
That'll be the tour of your lifetime.
I would love that because if I could ever go back in one moment in time, that would probably be it.
Well, I'll bring you there.
Really.
I'll bring you there.
Excellent. Look forward to it. So Tom, I'm driving here today, and I've heard this commercial a million times, but I never realized that was you.
That's
so
me.
1-800-INJURY-LAW. 1-800.
You know, it's like two different
law.
lives, to be honest with you. It's two different lives. You wake up in the morning. Actually, we come here. We do the radio show. We do a comedy show with L.J. James, and it's kind of like a hardcore, very funny, off the wall. I'm more serious. He's more of a clown.
You're more serious.
Yeah, I'm a very serious person, right?
That's serious.
You know, and in the show,
he is the straight guy,
and he's like. He's got this thing in his head. Somehow, I could be talking about Mother Teresa. He will turn it into something that has to do with sex.
That's good talent.
It's nonstop. He's got a one-track mind.
That takes
to
a lot
the
of talent.
point where my mother down in Florida, we have my mother lives in this I don't want to say convent, but it's like a, you know,
she
like a
the other day, right?
What is it? It's not an old age home. It's
adult
home. It's adult home.
Senior living
She's very
center.
active. Senior living.
Yeah.
Let's be politically correct.
So, you know, and she called me up and she said,
she'll be there soon.
Tom, she says, I love you and LJ. Would you stop the cussing?
I
mean, she can't even say cursing. And they listen to us every day. And then at 9 o'clock or 8:30 the show ends, I turn the hat around. And we have a very serious practice. We do personal injury law on the high end. You know, if somebody comes and says, you know, I hit my neighbor's bumper and I want to sue for $1 million, we tell them to go to 1-800, you know, somebody else. Yeah, I can't say it. But, you know, Brett is a very talented criminal attorney. Rich Coleman is an extremely talented attorney. He's been practicing about a little over 30 years, and he's like a walking encyclopedia. You know, so we have a very serious, very intense practice that we do from 9 to 5, and then at 5 o'clock, I'm driving home,
time.
And it's turn the hat around again.
Madhouse
you know,
time.
It's madhouse time. So it's like Vicki and I live these two totally different lives. Thank God the kids are all married. They're out there.
I think that's what it's all about.
Vicki's first half is shopping.
Well, that's true. That's true. You know, give a woman a credit. Nothing personal.
Oh no, but
give a woman a credit card, and I'm telling you,
she does a radio show with me on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yes, she does. Yeah. But it's it's a lot of fun. We get to live these two totally different lives.
Rockstar lives.
And you know, it kind of feels like that in a way. You know, when we meet people like you and we get invited to these red carpet events and meet authors and politicians and musicians, and he had dinner with Roger Daltrey. I mean, who does that? Where do you go to get that kind of life? And at the same time, we try to give back to the community what people can't obtain through shows like what we do here.
Right.
With you and, you know, Alicia and Tommy and the other hosts that we have. And we just seem to be getting bigger and bigger. And
that's what's great about with the addition of Jim, too, because he fits perfectly into the scenario.
It's like this little family.
I mean, it's like, you know
it really is
we need one more guy. We could be the Beatles.
We
We
just
could
took
probably
on
work
this
that
new
out.
show, and it's co-hosted by, they call him Paulie Cigars.
Okay.
And it's co-hosted by Ziggy, who was in The Bronx Tale.
Oh, okay.
In the
One
movie
of
The
my
Bronx
favorite
Tale.
movies.
Squiggy.
Squiggy, what did I say, Ziggy?
Yeah.
I'm terrible with names. So,
We can voice over that later.
you know, but
Oh,
no.
it's live.
Live,
Right,
baby,
right,
live.
I mean, Squiggy's an incredible actor. And to
And
see
what a-
him every
boy, you talk
time
about
on
a
Friday
character.
night, I mean, this is the kind of guy, he's Italian, you know, kind of like that mobster, you know, but always with the itch and the moving and the cigar going, and you know, he reminds me of my aunt Pauline, and he's just very Italian, kind of Goodfellows.
Yep.
But I'll tell you, I was working the camera for the show Friday night, me and Vicky, and I had to turn around. This guy had me. I tell you, he was
Very funny.
so funny, and it was just street funny. You know, it was right, boom, boom, boom. You know.
But that's what I think it's all about. It's about being able to do this. You know, everybody wants to be.
I
They
think
say
I
that
think you're
there's
right. It's letting other people see these different ways of life. You know, and that we're lucky enough to get inside.
Yeah,
It's great.
And this
Love
all started as a joke. This really started as a joke because LJ, the guy I do the show with, you know, because I did the commercials for the law firm, he said to me, you know all these people. Let's do a radio show. He did an internet show.
Right.
And somehow he talked me into going on a Chinese radio station. They didn't even speak English, for God's sake.
That's funny.
And I do this. And one thing just led to another. And we feel very fortunate that we've had the opportunity to meet people like you guys. And,
I feel fortunate.
That
you
was
too.
your
part of it.
path.
awesome.
That was your path. That was your path.
You know, so, and now we're here.
Nice.
And, you know, and you're here. And, you know, we were going through the magazine, and it's just, I can't wait till you get into the next phase of
I'm not there yet?
of what we're planning to do with your magazine and
That's
this
awesome.
show.
I can't wait.
But I got to be honest with you. I got to hear about these ghosts.
Yeah, we're definitely going to get to that.
You know, what is she doing? She's yelling at me?
Oh, commercial. Okay, let's
is
go.
that
to
what she's saying?
I think we should go to commercial. But before we do, can I do a commercial kind of? I just want to
can do
go back
whatever you
to
want.
last week's show and mention the Long Island Hospitality Ball, Keith Hart. After the show, he was generous enough to bring us back to Babylon, to two of his places, to Argyle and Barrique. And also, just to let you know that you can go to my website, villageconnectionmagazine.com, and purchase tickets for June 3rd for the Crest Hollow Country Club for the Hospitality Ball. It's only $100. It'll be the party of your lifetime.
What is that?
Even better than my party.
It's a ball?
It's a ball, bro.
So
we're gonna have a ball.
is it black tie?
You can wear. You can dress like a rock star.
I guess
That's how we're gonna dress. But anyway, we're gonna go to our sponsors, and I'll be right back with Kerriann, Flanagan, and Brosky. And I really appreciate you guys being here with me. Thank you.
It's a pleasure to be here, Jim.
Thank you, bro.
Old Spice body spray will make you feel so powerful to blow your mind right in front of your face.
Goodbye.
Oh no! It's like I don't. Power!
Automatic freshness, softness, and static control has never been easier with the Bounce Dryer Bar. I just stick it to the inside of my dryer, and I never have to remember.
Old Spice body spray makes you smell like power! It's so powerful it sells itself in other people's commercials. You smell like outdoor freshness.
You smell like power.
Yeah, I do. Power! Power!
Try this routine to feel fresh and clean. Pair Charmin Fresh Mates with your Charmin.
Oh, Spice body spray is too powerful to stay in its own commercial. That's right. Power! Old Spice body spray can change a regular smelling man into a man who smells like power!
Now, how is this? Wow, you know what? I actually do feel more powerful.
Potato chips! Power! It's me.
When your cable's on the fritz, you get frustrated. When you get frustrated, your daughter imitates. When your daughter imitates, she gets thrown out of school. When she gets thrown out of school, she meets undesirables. When she meets undesirables, she ties the knot with undesirables. And when she ties the knot with undesirables, you get a grandson with a dog collar. Don't have a grandson with a dog collar. Get rid of cable and upgrade to DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
Okay, we're back. And the time just seems to fly by here. I spend more time stressing about the show than the show actually takes. But so I really appreciate you guys coming here today. You made things run very smoothly. I got a whole grasp on everything now. And we're here with Miss Kerriann Flanagan Brosky, 6-time award-winning author, known for her Ghosts of Long Island series. She's been featured in a number of publications, the New York Times, Newsday, Distinction, Village Connection Magazine. You also have your own radio talk show, which you've been doing for a couple of years now, right?
Yeah.
So you're used to live stuff and things going right and wrong. So I'm sorry, I just got a little sidetracked there. So you must have some great ghost stories about Long Island.
Yes, I do. Each book that I've written, the first one is Ghosts of Long Island,
Okay.
Stories of the Paranormal, and the second one is Ghosts of Long Island 2, More Stories of the Paranormal. And each book contains 30 different places that are presumably haunted on Long Island.
Okay.
So they combine legends and myths, things that people know, like we were just discussing at the break, Mary's Grave and Kings Park Psychiatric Center. But I put those in because it's part of Long Island's history.
Okay.
But mainly, the stories are very historical. As I mentioned earlier, our Native American past, the Revolutionary War, and there are also very spiritual stories about people who have communicated with lost loved ones on the other side.
Right,
So,
that's crazy.
Yeah. So I still, the radio show concentrates more on that type of thing, along with mediumship. With the new book, though, that's my main concentration now, and
Right,
marketing
the new book,
that.
The Metal, right here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, tell me a little bit about this book. This book takes place in Northport?
Yes, it does. It's set in Northport.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
right in my neck of the woods.
I figured because I am a local author, I'm well known on Long Island. I do a lot of public speaking lectures and that kind of thing. And my books are about Long Island. So I said I wanted it to be set, and I'm from Huntington,
Right.
and I didn't want it in my hometown. So I wanted it in a quaint town. And it's a good way to get Northport on the literary map, so
Yes,
to
it
speak.
is, definitely.
And I have some events coming up next week, as a matter of fact, in Northport, because I'm trying to promote the small business.
Right.
So the main character in the book, Bethany Fitzpatrick, she's a pastry chef, and she's forced to come back to live in Northport to take care of her father, who is dying of multiple sclerosis. And it's a whole journey of her losing her faith and then gaining it back.
Right.
And while she's in her bakery, which is actually Copenhagen.
Okay, so it's actually set.
This is where one of my events are
That's
next
kinda
week.
neat.
So in the book, it's called Giovanni's Italian Bakery. So I made it Italian. But everyone who
How'd
reads
they
the
feel
book,
about that?
They're so excited.
okay
I'm
with
doing
that,
an
the
event-
German bakery being
Yeah,
Italian?
yeah. Well, it's actually, I think it's a Danish bakery.
Oh,
but it's. But I'm doing an event there next Friday night from 5 to 7. It's to
nice.
meet the author, a book discussion. Books will be available for purchase. I'll sign them, and everyone who comes to Copenhagen's will get a free cup of coffee.
That's cool.
So that's
guys.
on Friday night. So basically, the story goes that she really is not fitting into, she's a young girl, she's in her late 20s, and she's taking care of a dying man. She's running her own business, and the challenges that arise with that, where her
Right.
friends have families, homes, that kind of thing. And so she really starts to get to that breaking point. And one day, in comes, into her locked bakery, I have to say, someone who's reminiscent from the movie The Godfather, this big Italian guy. And she's
Okay.
petrified. And he starts to tell her about Padre Pio, who bore the 5 wounds of Christ. And that is a true story. And he teaches her about this man who performs miracles, has the gift of bilocation, he had the stigmata. And she starts to become friends with him, even though there's
Right.
something, she doesn't know who he is. After a while, she starts to think that he is an angel, and I
Okay.
leave that up to the reader. So this is based on a true story, by the way.
Really?
Because I did meet someone who
I'm not going to be able to go back into that place again, I don't think.
it's. I met someone who's like this who actually gave me this medal here, and this is what it's based off of. I don't want to give away the ending, but there is a true miracle that takes place in the book that actually happened to me. My father did have multiple sclerosis. I wasn't his caretaker per se. It was my mother. So the character of Bethany was sort of modeled after myself and my mother and what we witnessed. But it's really a life-changing story. Everyone who has read it has said it has really impacted their life, given them hope and faith. And so now with these events next week, I want to encourage people to read the book, to get something out of it, but also to plug the small businesses.
That's great.
So on Thursday night, I'll be at Campari's restaurant on Main Street, and they're doing, for $60, it's a prix-fixe dinner, 4 courses, and with that includes a glass of wine and a signed copy of the medal. And I'll be walking around in this nice atmosphere talking about the book and why I have it set in Northport.
That's
so
great. That's
great,
exciting.
Yeah.
I bet the people in Northport are loving that.
I know. So that's
such
next
a nice
Thursday
little
and
quaint
next
little
Friday.
town.
Exactly. So we have to plug those small businesses.
Absolutely. That sounds really exciting. So, so you must have a lot of stories that you've heard about Long Island, I'm sure, as far as ghost stories. Do you have any that kind of stand out?
There's, of course, a lot.
I'm sure
that
there's
I
a
have
ton of them.
But I would say, because there are all different types of ghosts.
There's none here, right?
Not
like
that I know of, yeah. We'd have to do a little investigation to find out for sure. But one of the most well-known and one of the most haunted places on Long Island is the Country House Restaurant in Stony Brook.
Okay.
And out of all the places I've investigated, I would say that's one of the top ones for being most actively haunted by the ghost of Annette Williamson, who lived in the house during the Revolutionary War.
Really?
And she was hung by the townspeople because they believed that she was for the British when actually she was protecting her household. Her parents left her to stay and watch the children, and of course the British took over the house, and anyone who took British in, they thought they were for the British. So she would look out this window every day in the old field room, that's what it's called now.
Right.
And her parents never returned, though, because they were killed.
Right.
So she was ultimately, when the British left, she was hung. And there have been visions of her, all kinds of things go on in there. Things move, people have seen her, sounds, music. So I would say that's one of the most.
That's kind of scary. Do you actually go to these places and experience any of this yourself?
Yeah, but it's not like it is on TV. I mean, what I always tell everyone is to stop watching those shows and the movies. That's not what I do. It's not anything that's evil or bad or demonic. We're not screaming at the spirits. Most of my investigations were done during the daytime, and they're fine. You know, we stay away from anything that's really negative or bad, and it's just really getting that communication with the other side and proving that life does exist. In the case of Annette Williamson, she for whatever reason chose not to move on to the other side. So she's what they say place-centered.
Now, is there things that they say you can do to help them move on, or is that pretty much the way that would be forever?
Yeah, that's really not something that I do. I work with paranormal investigator Joe Giaquento, and he's a clairaudient medium. But it's not something that we really do. It's more about the communication. But it used to be, 30, 40 years ago, that if someone saw an image of their grandfather, let's say an apparition in their house, quick, get the priest. He didn't make it to heaven. We've got to move along. But that's really not the case anymore. There's a difference between ghosts and spirits. So ghosts tend to be like Annette Williamson, more place-centered, where spirits are around us all the time. And that should bring people comfort. So, I mean, I believe in heaven. If heaven's a perfect place, then people could come and go, but still help us on their journey. So then you get into things like orbs that you get on cameras, EVPs, that type of thing, and it shows, some validation.
My sister was just telling me about something with a bakery in Huntington.
Oh, Fiorello Dolce. Yes, in fact, that was.
I've known him forever, and he's never told me this.
In fact, that was in the Village Connection magazine. I just wrote about it, and it's been getting a lot of attention.
That's awesome.
We went into the city. We were on Q104.3 recently talking about it. They'll air that soon, hopefully. But yeah, he literally has orbs flying around his bakery there, and it was funny because I always would go in there as a customer, and I knew him by face, and it was last summer we were filming my book trailer in Northport for the Medal, and I needed cannolis. And I called him up, and I said, you know,
So you got cannolis in Huntington
yeah,
for
so
Northport.
exactly,
That's
for
good.
Northport.
That's
So
good
that's
for
why
Huntington.
I'm getting it exactly, and it's on the trailer, Fiorello Dolce. So I knew that they wouldn't have had the cannolis, and I
Right.
was looking for a certain look. So I called him up, and I said to him, you know, I told him who I was. I'm the lady who gets the flourless chocolate cake all the time. And I said, I'm doing this book trailer, and I need to film cannolis. Can I come in and film your cannolis?
Right.
And there's silence on the phone. You want to film my cannolis? And so when we went in there, we're doing the shoot, and somehow the topic of ghosts came up, and he had no idea that I had written ghost books.
Okay, that's
and that's sort of how it got the ball rolling. And then Joe and I ended up doing an investigation there over the winter. And we had a blast doing it. But I was just in there the other day. He has more light flashes. These orbs are zooming around his store.
I've been
It's
in
amazing.
there to sell ads, and sometimes I get a little weird feeling
Yeah,
like that
there's
I'm
a
being
whole
watched, but
history there.
I thought it
But
was
I always
Gerard.
say I always say ghosts are good for business. I do
Yeah,
a lot
they
of
are.
restaurants that are haunted, and ghosts are good for business.
That's pretty exciting. That's an interesting field to be in.
Yeah,
what
it
made
is.
you start? What made you
Well,
start into
I know
that?
exactly. It's not something I really planned to do. But as I had mentioned earlier, I had written 2 books on Huntington's history back in the 90s. And when you're investigating older homes, there's always a haunted house or
Right.
a ghost story here or there. And I was on the board of trustees for the Huntington Historical Society
Okay.
for a while, and I was doing lectures, and they wanted something different at Halloween. So I threw in those ghost stories and did a ghost lecture, and it sort
And
of
that
took
started
off
it on its way.
from there, and then that's I decided years later to go and pursue it.
That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to take a break from our sponsors and come back with our musical guests. I really appreciate you
Thank
coming
you.
down.
Thank
It's a very
you for having
interesting
me.
story, and we look forward to reading more about your stories in the Village Connection magazine. So we introduce you right there as one of our new writers, and your new book right here.
And also, if you would like to raffle that off to anyone.
Oh yeah, let's raffle this off.
Mm-hmm.
We'll take opening bids on the villageconnectionmagazine.com, and let's go to commercial, and we'll be right back. Thank you.
For professional motorcycle transport and towing, think Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. Proudly serving all of Long Island, we feature expert handling and 24/7 service. So send a limo for your toy with Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing.
One resident describes her horrifying experience when she first realized the complex was on fire.
I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Well, I woke up to go give me a cold pop. Then I thought somebody was barbecuing. I said, oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire. Then I ran out. I didn't grab no shoes or nothing, Jesus. I ran for my life. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. I said, oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire. I said, oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire. I said, oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire. Jesus, 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 it's a fire. I said, oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire. I said, oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire. I said, oh Lord Jesus, it's a fire. Jesus, 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 Jesus. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Brooklyn's best locksmith and hardware.
We have 3 of the largest showrooms of safes on display and in stock. You can see and touch them in person instead of browsing a catalog. We carry gun and rifle safes, burglary safes, jewelry safes, fire rated from a half hour to 2 hour. Famous name brands.
We sell Gardol.
We sell AMSAC.
The new AMSAC touchscreen.
If you're ever in need of a safe, think Brooklyn's best locksmith and hardware. Right, Lockie?
That's right, Alan.
You know you already want a Toyota, but when you want more from your Toyota store, you want Smithtown Toyota, where every Toyota comes with Smithtown Toyota's Toyota for Life program, giving you lifetime New York State inspections, lifetime 10% discounts on all parts and service, 2 years of complimentary oil changes, 2 years of scheduled maintenance, and more, all at no cost to you, plus low clear-out deals on every Toyota in stock. Get more from your Toyota store. Hurry to Smithtown Toyota.
Okay, we're back with our musical guests, Johnny Q and Rob Coffin. And the exciting part about this story was about 12 hours ago, I did not have a musical guest because I dropped the ball. So I called up a friend of mine, Scotto, which everyone knows who Scotto is, and he kind of helped me out. And I'm very happy to have Johnny Q here. I've known him for a long time. Actually, you've played on my stage for a number of years at the Fall Festival, Long Island Fall Festival.
That's true.
At the Carnival stage. We've been hosting that stage for about 10 years now. Mm-hmm. So you've been playing that. And you guys have played together as a duo for a number of years and also in separate bands. And
we lived in the same house.
And I was going to say, you guys lived in the same house and lots of music and lots of dogs.
Two divorced musicians living together.
Yeah, bro, that's got to be some excitement. Some good stories.
We had the world by the balls back then.
Nothing lasts forever, no.
So you guys are going to play us Fine Leather Truck? It's your own song?
No. This is a tune by the Gourds from Austin, Texas.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Nice.
We'll kick it off with this.
Let's hear it, bro. Thank you.
My romance story started out frying up a morning glory. I know you about the things you like to know. I found how the moon woke us up with a jiggling sound in my fire. So I rolled up my dirty red out and it soaked us all up. Stop the technology from sucking us up. Spider-Man was all I could remember then. We crossed the walls and we left that ugly town. In my fine leather truck. In my fine leather truck. In my fine leather truck, alright. In my fine leather truck. In my fine red leather truck. In my fine leather truck. Ooh. Oh, that's a fine leather truck.
Excellent, guys.
Thank you.
That was perfect.
Yeah, that's a song about the chords. You know, when Rob and I, shared a house together there, he'd come up at 7 o'clock in the morning with his guitar, or he'd come up 12 o'clock at night with his guitar, or whenever. So, we know lots of
That's good. You guys
together.
practice a lot together.
Just even by accident.
What are you going to play now?
We'll do Watching the Detectives. by
Excellent
Elvis
song.
Costello.
Costello, sure.
Thanks again for having us too, Jim. The nice girl's not the one with a defect. Cellophane shrink wrap so correct. Red dogs under legal legs. She looks so good that he gets down and begs. She's watching the detectives. Oh, it's so cute. She's watching the detectives. Oh, when they shoot, they beat him up until the teardrops start. But he can't be wounded 'cause he's got no heart. Long shot at that jumping sign. Invisible shivers running down my spine. Cut the baby taking off her clothes. Close up with a sign that says we never close. Start your tune and you match your cigarette. She pulls her eyes out with a face like a magnet. I don't know how much more of this I can take. She's filing her nails while they're dragging the lake. She's watching the detectives. Oh, it's so cute. She's watching the detectives. Oh, when they shoot. But he gets so angry when the teardrops start. But he can't be wounded 'cause he's got no heart. You think you're alone until you realize you're in it. Now fear is here to stay, love is here for a visit. They call it instant justice when it's past the legal limit. Someone's scratching at the window, I wonder who is it? The detective come to check if you belong to the parents who are ready to hear the worst about the daughter's disappearance. Then it took a miracle. It only took my little fingers to blow you away. Just like watching the detective. Don't get cute. Just like watching the detective.
Excellent, guys. I love Elvis Costello. That was perfect. So are you guys performing anywhere anytime soon?
Well, right now I'm just putting together a new project in my living room right
Okay,
now.
nice.
And we're going to break it out in about 2 more months.
And you get ready for October for the Fall Festival, I'm sure.
there for that, for sure, yeah.
11 years now?
That's for sure.
That makes me feel a little bit old.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent, guys. I really appreciate it. And we're going to go to a commercial, and we're going to wrap it up, and we're going to go. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jim.
Want
to sing with us? Here you go.
We're going to come wave goodbye. I'm not singing. Thanks, guys. So, Kerriann, come sing it.
I'll be seeing you in the village. Seeing you in the village. Seeing you in the village. While we're reading the battle.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Peace
Thank you,
out.
Jimmy.
Thank you.
Out.
Out.